There are trillions of dollars being manifested on a yearly basis.
Yep.
And so when it flows, where are you?
That's really why it's so important when you look at the ingredients that you're running with the right circle, that you have the right people around you. It is better to have 3 people that push you to your next level than to have 20 that just kind of clap every once in a while.
Yes. Right. So we're going to be, you play football.
Yes.
Yeah, so you understand what a play means.
Right.
Yeah, it's about time that we start sharing the secrets and sharing the plays for all of these businesses and all of these individuals who are moving into the tech space. Let's give them some plays.
Let's run it.
Welcome to another episode of Disrupt You. We couldn't be more excited to have our special guest today, Mr. John Whaley. How are you today, sir?
Doing well. Excited to be here.
I am happy. Let everybody know a little bit about you.
Hi, folks. My name is John Whaley, and I'm excited to be here. My background is in business development, so I teach and profess growth and opportunities around the country on behalf of some pretty cool organizations. So I'm excited to be here to talk about tech, trillions of dollars out there, and how we can help you add value to the market.
Oh, I love it. It couldn't be a better topic. But you did miss something about yourself, my friends. I get the pleasure. He's so humble, and I love it. John is simply an incredible being out here, really moving the needle for businesses, making sure that they are educated in ways that really I haven't seen. I love the framework that I saw on your LinkedIn. You have to go to John Whaley's LinkedIn page to be able to see an immersive chart that really lays out more than 75 steps that businesses can take. And today we are so excited to just learn about a few so they can go get this trillions of dollars that's lying in the industry. So, are we ready?
We're ready.
Yes. So we're going to be, you play football.
Yes.
Yeah. So you understand what a play means.
Right.
Yeah. It's about time that we start sharing the secrets and sharing the plays for all of these businesses and all of these individuals who are moving into the tech space and moving into entrepreneurship. Let's give them some plays.
Let's run it.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Now, what did a play mean to you in football?
Well, the big part about a play is just getting everybody on the same team, right? Getting everybody in the same frame of mind. And so a big part of that was there was a vision, there was a mission, and we were assigned our roles, we played our roles, and we succeeded at what we wanted to do. And so having that framework, which what we'll talk about, really empowers small business owners, whether they're just starting out or hit a flat spot and they're stuck. So
we're gonna start with the dough.
Yes, we're gonna make dough. We're gonna walk you through the process of making dough, right? And the cool thing about dough, you can use it for all kinds of stuff: kolaches, donuts, bread, doesn't matter, right? So once you learn the system and the process, you carry this with you for life, right? So as tech changes, opportunity changes, you're able to adapt with it.
So we're going to go teach them how to go get this, how to make the dough.
How to make the dough.
How to go get this dough.
That's right. And they'll teach others how to make the dough.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. So we're starting here where I'm this entrepreneur, got this business, or either I've had an existing business, and now I'm ready to take this to the first level to move into this big space. Talk to us about it.
So the first thing is with this whole recipe that Mom handed down to me that, has allowed me to do a lot of cool stuff in life is understanding the ingredients start with who you hang around, right? Your group set. And so with that group set, if we were to throw it in the oven or start putting it in a bowl, that network you run with will make or break you. And so your network doesn't exactly have to be by your side. You don't have to mix and mingle with them in person. There's so much technology and so much digital content out there that you can really learn everything. You could learn the mindset, the whys and the hows, people around you, right? And so if you know there's something you want, you need to start hanging out with people that are already there. Right. And one thing I always say about making this dough is, once you get that group set together, the next major step is it shifts your mindset. Right. So when I wanted to run track and field and I wanted to be, at 50 something years old, I knew I wanted to be around the people that were the best at this. And so I went out there, I found people like Carl Lewis and a lot of the fastest people here. And at almost 50 years old, they gave me the mindset. They told me what to eat, how to think, how to approach the race, how to think about the loss. Because before that, I had a totally different mindset, right? So I encourage people first, find that group that's going to help you grow. And I know I've heard you say it before, if they're not pushing you forward, they're holding you back. And you want that. And so with that, you start thinking about, okay, what are they saying that's so different from where I am now? And then that gives us that mindset. And then lastly, once you have the mindset, the learning kicks in and you develop the skill set. And the skill set is one of the most important things. For instance, using the track analogy, had I carried on with the lack of knowledge, the ignorance I had before, I would have been doing certain workouts, certain exercises, eating certain things. But by hanging with people that are already winning, it taught me I was doing a lot of things wrong. So skill set wise, I started developing things that mattered and got rid of a lot of pain and changed things out. So in the business sense of it, you hang with people that are winning, you hang with people that are pursuing tech, you hang with people that don't make excuses. They teach you to think like them, right? And it pulls you out of that network you're in now that is always like, I don't know why you're doing that. Is that gonna work? Or as the TikToks would say, I see your little business. So they pull you out of that. And then the skill set, you learn from watching them where those deficiencies are. They're there to help you. You go back to your network. I'm sorry, I don't know how to do blockchain. How do I do that? Oh, that's easy. I got 5 friends. I don't know what NFT is. Well, I got friends for that. And you start to develop the skill sets of learning, understanding, comprehending. So that's really the main ingredients, just hanging around the right people to develop the right mindset and then developing the right skill sets.
What I love about what you're saying, this is, number one, this is incredible to get started with a framework because everyone needs a mental model.
Yes.
A model that's going to give them the guide. You talk about skill set, and you just mentioned one of the favorite things that's happening today is the new knowledge that we're learning when we talk about NFTs and talk about blockchain and the whole world of what digital assets mean in a cryptocurrency world. All of this is new to all of us. We're all starting at a ground level playing field. And you and I earlier talked about the S curve, and that's what's important here. So when we think about the curve of growth, right, and the model for growth, innovation, we have to know when we start with some innovation, then we can move that curve on up. And at some point, we know when we're going to be at the peak of that innovative capability. Same with our learning, right? We never stop.
Ever.
It's lifelong, right? Over time. And so here, we start here in the curve, and it's hard, it's difficult. It's difficult to get the concept of blockchain.
Yes.
You said that you've been listening to what?
Podcasts and books and YouTube videos, everything, right?
So now you're here at this break point where you're investing in yourself.
Yes.
Right? You're investing in yourself to learn new knowledge, right? So in that new knowledge, you have all of this going on. Your neurons, are jittering. They're excited. Are you excited about the metaverse and about NFTs and about blockchain?
Absolutely.
And then you're getting to this point now where you curve. That's a terrible looking S, by the way. But you kind of see it's an S. And at the top of the curve, you're here. Are you going to stop with blockchain and NFTs?
No, the world changes.
You're going to disrupt yourself.
That's right.
Disrupt so that you can go off and learn new things. And that's what we're asking for our audience to do. Is to get to a point where it's never ending. You're constantly learning. And when you get to the peak, you start all over and go learn something new.
Right.
How important is that?
It's, on the Kaizen, it's essential. You have to always be learning and growing, right? As long as you're here on earth and you're breathing, you should be taking in something new. And so the cool thing about it is people will often say, well, where do I even start? You start with what's on your heart and you go hang out with some people that are doing stuff, because a lot of where we see the problems with getting to that point of disruption is hanging around people that want to disrupt things. So if you hang around people that want status quo, well, that's what you get. And so when you start hanging around, you start building that network, building that foundation, taking in new content, thoughts become things, things are thoughts. It's amazing how you take this piece and all you want to do is disrupt. It becomes part of your DNA at that point. One of the big challenges is like the pain of developing and learning, right? The time it takes, the feeling like you don't know anything or not having people to help you. And so I will tell you, from going from my project management certification to my pilot's license to all kinds of certifications for different software platforms, it was painful in the fact that I didn't know, and it hurts to learn, but you build that muscle over time. And once you build that muscle, you'll wake up in the morning thinking about, if I didn't learn anything today, I'm failing. right? And so you surround yourself with people that love to learn. And that's how you get over that challenge. So now, like with my kids, I'm like, you're going to learn to love learning. And they're like, how do I do that? I'm going to make you learn, right? They have that environment. So for me, it was really just understanding the reward and knowing that within that network, I could bring value and you can bring value as well, right? So the big challenge there is getting used to the fact, just like going to the gym, muscles will be sore, brain will be sore, but over time you see the results.
Oh, there it is, sore. And then we have a breakthrough.
Right.
This is our breakthrough.
Yes.
Right?
And now you got to run 6 miles every morning.
Oh, I'm loving where we're going. I love that we start with the group set.
Yes.
Lose those people that don't have any business being in our network. I love that. And build up a great network. But this starts with a mindset shift. And all of that comes together. That once you shift your mind, you have the right positive motivation around you. Now learning becomes what it needs to be, focused, intentional, because it's going to be painful, you said.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. And then you're going to get a breakthrough. And then you start all over and disrupt again.
Yes.
So how do they start next after foundation, my friend?
Well, that's a great question. So going back to making the dough, so my mom was like, here are the 3 things you need to put in everything you make when you're making the dough. I said, okay, so then what do I do with it? She said, you got to get prepared. So the cool thing about the preparation stage is it really comes down to now you start working on your tool set, what you carry with you, because now you've been exposed to people that are doing really neat things that are like really digging in deep to your soul, but you need to start learning how to level up the tools you use. Right. And so back in the day, maybe I was using, maybe a not too great piece of equipment and it made learning even harder. But going back to my network, understanding the mindset and having that skill set in place, I was able to level up the tools that I could use. And so that became the next part of getting prepped, having the right tools. And so with the tools, it really came down to now, how do I plan with these new tools? Right. And so for all of you, the planning is so important, right? You got the stuff you knew before you didn't have Adobe Creative and, you're trying to use your college EDU or sign in to get in there. And now you own it. Now it's yours. Now you're like, oh, I have all the access. What do I do? How do I plan and start adding value? And so once you get through that planning, the thing I think most people fall short for business owners, they don't practice enough. And it goes to the point of what you've mentioned so many times, which is adding value where you can. I get told by my spouse often, like, why do you give stuff away? I'm like, I'm not giving stuff away. I'm contributing to learning. And when people say you're picking my brain, I'm like, you can't pick my brain. It's on loan. I'm just handing it out. So don't be afraid to think, somebody's going to steal your idea of any of that, because you want to get out there and practice as many times as possible. So when that opportunity comes, like for me, when the big folks at the top say, hey, we need somebody, who do we want? Well, that dude's done a lot. Let's bring him in. And that has been really just that preparation has gotten me into so many places, so many opportunities, and it'll work for you as well.
All right. So we got the tool set.
Yes, we got a tool set. We got that plan set. You start planning, like, how do I make this happen? Planning is huge, right? And I encourage everybody, take a project management course. I mean, it's essential. Communication, project management, and human behavior. These are the pillars. How people work, how you talk and communicate and connect, and then how do you get stuff done?
I'm loving all of this. Okay. So preparation and what's next?
So once we get through preparation, like it really gets down to cooking. Like now we're going to start making something. So the dough, it's like you sat there, you got everything together, you got a cool network, everything's working out, you got your tools together, because you're not thinking about ideas yet. So your ideas really need to come from the market and not from you. Many people, if you're passionate and you're sponsored, whether, whatever means you have.
I want you to say that again. Talk to them and tell them that again.
Right. So here's one of the big challenges I see for creatives, right? Creatives typically want to do what's in their heart, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's why we have the foundation. That's why we have the setting up things. Your passion is to hang around people that do what you do. But the downfall, the pitfall of what makes this hard is you don't create value for the market. You're not listening to their needs. You're not applying all those skills, all those tools to their needs. And once you start listening, and we'll talk about that later, but once you start listening, you realize I'm here to add value to the market, and the market will reward me. You're off to the races. You no longer have to sit there and be like, I can't come up with good ideas. And so for us, you only have to turn on the news and you see all the problems in the world. Endless opportunities.
Good. So set the framework up. And then listen, have your listening systems on, because there are many problems to be solved. The market needs to drive that.
Yes.
Not us putting out what we want as creators.
Yes.
This is really good stuff. So let's keep going.
Okay. So when it comes to cooking it, let's make something now.
I'm calling this execution.
Yes, we're going to execute on this, right? So how do you bring all this together and get something out of it? Well, the reason it's execution / cooking, making the dough, cooking the dough now, this is the point where now it's about you. Now you need to figure out what drives you, what's in your heart, what makes you happy. Like whether it's something where, something happened in your life and now you want to fix it, or you saw an opportunity, you want to pursue it. This is where your passion comes in. And so that willingness is the most important part, right? So in willingness, that's part of the cooking, and you want it on high. You want it intense, like put it on broil, right? You want to make sure that whatever it is you're hot about making, you're hot about being involved. And so once you get that whole willingness together, that's going to lead you to get ready. Because if you get up every day with that will in your heart, you're going to start using all those tools to start getting ready. And once you're ready, the cool thing is you're able. So when it comes to clients and people we work with, we make sure the will is there, because we can make sure you're able and ready, but we can't create will. And so for all of you out there, it is so important just to realize there are no rules to this game. There are no limits. Doesn't matter what you want to pursue, just do it. Just practice, plan and practice until you find that group that appreciates you, and then make sure you're able and ready to go, and just like that, you're executing.
And you and I both know that I don't care how much someone wants something for you.
Right.
It isn't until you have the will.
Yes.
Because your willpower overpowers everything.
That's right.
And so something in you, intrinsic, has to be in you to say that, again, there are trillions of dollars being manifested on a yearly basis.
Yep.
And so when it flows, where are you?
Better be in the way.
In the way.
In the way.
I like that, John.
Let it flow through you.
Oh, let it flow through you.
Yep.
I don't even know if I have enough room on our diagram to write that.
Yep.
I think I'll write it on the person.
There you go.
Let the trillions flow through you.
Yes.
Oh, I like that. And let it so flow.
And that's really why it's so important when you look at the ingredients, and you can always go back and adjust, that you're running with the right circle, that you have the right people around you. It is better to have 3 people that push you to your next level than to have 20 that just kind of clap every once in a while.
That's good. One more time. That's good.
Really, it is. I mean, for many of you, especially if you're going through college or you're at a job, whatever, you're driving Uber, whatever, you want to make sure that the people are around you. The most fundamental ingredient is there's people there that support what you want, right? Or they support your mission. And so that really is part of the things that help your will. You may not know what you want to do, and then you hear something from somebody you admire, appreciate, or in your clique, and you think to yourself, well, I never thought about that. Because many people, you don't know what you want to do. The news cycle, the way the world is going, it's chaos. But when you start talking and communicating with people that have that passion, you just want to do something.
I know that we're getting down to the last one.
Yeah. Yes.
What is our final path to moving our business into the multi-million-dollar space?
Time to serve it up.
All right.
Right. You'd have cooked the dough, executed on it. So serving it up really has to do with, during that phase when you were looking at the cooking it, believe it or not, the way this is set up, the serving part allows you now to decide how you want to serve it up. Do you want to serve your dough as a kolache? Do you want to serve your dough as pizza crust? Do you want to serve your dough as raw and whatever, You get to choose now, because the most important thing, like we had mentioned before, is awareness, right? That is the key to all this, is just awareness. And many times we get absorbed in our world. And that's why, again, on your foundation, the most important piece is the group you hang with. So hanging with my friends here, yourself, when we're hanging out, I'm always intrigued by what you say. I'm always thinking, I missed that one. I need to go investigate, right? So when it comes to this whole awareness thing, it's thoughts and things. You gotta be around people to get more thoughts, to be able to do more things.
Normally, most would have put this and started here.
Yes.
At the beginning.
Yep.
But there's a whole host of foundation, preparation, execution, getting in the game that has to happen before you said serve.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Well, the unfortunate part for me is when you go straight to awareness, you may be cooking with bad dough, meaning you're aware of the wrong problems, the wrong group.
Wow.
So you spend your whole life chasing things that have no meaning, no value, no nothing. You're just part of the noise. You're just part of the megaphone. And so by starting with getting your skills up front and really getting prepped and having that network, when you turn on your senses and you turn on that anthropology in you and you start looking around, you're with people that can help fund and fuel and support what you want to do versus people that are saying, I saw your little TikTok. Oh, are you monetizing that? Oh, why are you doing that? Instead,
I gotta be a little TikTok.
Exactly. So instead, what happens is when you get to that point where you have all those things in place first and you're aware, you pick up the phone, you text, and everybody jumps in like yes, when, where, why, how. And at that point, it takes out all that pain that we were talking about before because you're excited, they're excited, you can't sleep. And the next thing you know, $1 trillion to you is like, psh, I'll see you at the G20 summit, I'll see you at the G7 summit. Right? So.
Oh, I'm loving this. Now we just got a couple more points before we wrap this up. Give us the last couple of things that are important. I know you started a little bit when we talked about clarity.
Yes.
But that's a big piece as well, right?
Right. So that biggest point towards the end is really going to be about clarity. Communication's so important. And so many times in your head, you think you understand it, but write it down. Right. I'm big on visual maps, whether it's Visio, Lucid Charts, whatever. Note, you can use PowerPoint. It doesn't matter, but map it out. And that's what you were referring to earlier as far as I love to build these maps. Because for years and years of doing adult training, when people see the caveman drawings on the wall,
that's right,
language gets out of the way.
Oh, yes, that's good.
So it closes gaps between generations. Yes.
It's just, you can visualize together with pictures. It literally cuts through language barriers because everyone can see with the same lens, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. And so then when we finish it up, it's about speed. The whole point of having clarity is execution speed. Like how fast can I get my dough to market? Because with speed means I'm able to scale up, right? It means I'm able to modify, change on the fly in an agile kind of manner. So speed is kind of that last thing. And like I said, we do all this at the end because now you have the tools, the mindset, the skill sets, you got the friends and peers that when you execute on this, they all think like this. Because this is how the top 1% thinks. And it's never hidden. It's never, ever been hidden. But put the wrong ingredients in up front, tastes bad, and you get sick. And the one thing I will add is remember this, when it comes to this recipe, a lot of people can't cook. So be careful who you follow.
Oh, we've tasted some, I don't even want to go there. Somebody said it could make some okra and tomatoes, and I don't know what came out of that kitchen.
Yes.
They made that. So yes, it is important. This is when this group thing.
Yes.
Very important.
Right.
Oh, I love everything you're saying. This has been so much fun.
Yes.
It has been extremely informative. I'm so grateful for the framework that you've given us today. I know there's so much more. I can't wait until we can follow up with like a part 2 because there's so much. Yep. So let's find out how we can find John. John, where do we follow you?
Easiest way is just connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you're not on LinkedIn, get a LinkedIn profile. Please get a LinkedIn profile. I don't care if you're high school, wherever you are. Get your LinkedIn profile, and it's Johnny Profit on LinkedIn, John Whaley. So
we are so excited again with all that you're pouring into these communities. Cannot thank you enough for your time today. Everyone, we are very, very happy to have had John spend time today. The frameworks, again, you can follow him on LinkedIn and take a look at much more comprehensive frameworks that he has for startup and small businesses. This has been amazing. This has been another episode of Disrupt You. Until next time, let's go.